So my last value scale I worked with black and my color. So I have now worked with my color using pressure to create value, my color with the addition of white to create value, my color with the addition of black to create color, and now I'm going to do two more value scales that involve neutrals. I'm going to do one with my color and a gray, and one with my color and a brown. Again, the goal of these value scale practices is to learn various ways in which we can create values and mix colors in the creation of those values. That's one of the unique things and special things about working with color pencil is the wide range of options you have in techniques and choices when it comes to creating colors and values in your artwork. So like before, I'm going to start by laying my color down. Now in my set, I have two grays. One is a lighter gray and one is a darker gray. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide each of these values in half so I can get an idea of how a light gray and a dark gray react with my color. So I'm not going to measure anything here. I'm just going to lay my ruler and judge about what half of that square is and draw a line through it. So I think I'm going to try the light gray first here on the top. After applying the gray, it looks like some of my values are very similar to each other. So I'm going to layer another passing of the 324 red over top. Kind of lost my gray tone over here, so I'm going to come back and see if I can layer more of this light gray over the top. Okay, so some things I'm observing is that the light gray is very similar to what my white is. So the light gray just may not be dark enough to really go over top. I have definitely a value scale, but I think it seems more like a thinner application to thicker application instead of a lighter value to a darker value. So I'm going to see what happens with the dark gray. So I think the dark gray definitely works more. I did ease up on pressure as I came across, This one I think may need a little bit more of the 324 red pigment added to it because it's looking a little bit more gray than the others. But I'm glad I experimented with this. So this one I may later on try similar to like what I did with the white here, and where maybe I'll try laying the light gray down first and then the red over top. But I definitely want to make sure I label these. And now I'm going to go on to my last set of neutrals in my box of Prismacolors, and that are my browns. So I'm going to do a similar thing here, but I'm going to do it before I get started. And then I'm going to separate and split these in half so I can compare the two browns and what they do with the color. So I'm once again going to start by laying down my red. Actually, let's try it a different way. So far I've laid down the red color other than with the white. So let's try laying the brown down first. So up top here I'm going to use the lighter of the two colors. So now that I have my two browns down, I'm now going to come back over top of them with my 324 red. So now that I've finished applying my red over top, you can definitely see the difference between the two browns underneath. So realize, as you build layers with color pencils, they're not super opaque unless you really apply a lot of pressure. So this is one nice thing about working with colored pencils, in that layering can create not only values but different effects in your drawings. So I'm going to label this as I did before. So this is my 324 plus 344 and 324 plus my 346. And again, remember, I'm putting numbers on mine because my Prismacolor Scholars, this set I have, doesn't have names for the colors, just numbers for the pigments used.